Okay, everybody, this is our short lecture and demo on conversions. So just important vocabulary for you guys. We got two of them. The first one is dimensional analysis and the second one is conversion unit. So dimensional analysis is just the way that we use the conversion factors to move from one unit to another. So I have a picture of this measurement chart for any of you who cook or bake, right? Sometimes, they ask you for different measurements, but maybe you only have certain materials available. So if it's asking for a cup and maybe you only have your, measuring spoons available, you need to figure out how much that is. Or if, let's say, your milk was measured in gallons and you only have your half a cup, how much does that change into? So dimensional analysis is kind of like that, right? Being able to move from one to the other. And then the conversion unit, that's the ratio, the equivalent values that each unit has. So again, if you take a look at the kitchen measurement chart, 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts to 8 pints, 16 cups, 128 ounces, and 3.8 liters. So all of those are conversions. So if I have a gallon of milk and I'm trying to figure out how much that is in liters, then I would take those numbers and use that to convert from gallons to liters, which is what we're going to take a look at. This is the ladder method that we talk about during our metrics lecture. This is the manual way to do it. Obviously, there are ways to do it where you can just multiply or divide by a certain number, right? But I should have showed you should have watched the ladder method in the metrics conversion lecture. So if you need a refresher on that, just make sure you take a look at it. But we're going to do a different kind of conversion this time. So here is a practice question for you. It says, how many 8-packs of water would you need if 32 people attending your party each had 2 bottles of water? So we will start with what is given to us, right? It's giving us 32 people and each person had 2 bottles of water. So how do I set that up? So I have 32 people. And this is where, writing out the conversion factor really helps. Because you don't want to get your units confused, right? This has a lot to do with multiplying and dividing, and you want to make sure that your units cancel and they are put in the right place. Otherwise, your answer is going to be incorrect. So what it's saying is that if for every person, right, they drink 2 bottles, so you want your units to be across from each other. If you remember from math, right, you can cancel numbers, right? Same idea, you want to cancel your units, right? So that means that the people unit should be down here, or person, right? So for every one person, they have 2 bottles of water, right? But we're trying to figure out how many 8-packs we need. So technically what we would say at this point is that we would need 64 bottles, right, for that 32 people, and the people units will cancel, which means the bottles is our unit. But again, we need 8-packs, right? So we're going to do another conversion factor, right? So if there are 8 bottles in one 8-pack, right, the bottle units cancel, so we're left with our unit is 8-pack. And hopefully you know that if you have one number with a bar under another, that means you're dividing, right? So 64 divided by 8 should be 8, right? So to be able to make sure everybody that is attending your party has enough water, right? If they're going to have 2 bottles, then you're going to need 8 packs of water, right? And that's how you do that. And these things right here, this one and this one, those are your conversion factors. And usually these are given for you. So if we relate this back to just chemistry in general, right, we're going to take a look at, how many molecules are in a particular compound, how many atoms are in a particular molecule even. So it's good to know these things, right? So let me give you one more example, and then there should be a worksheet for you where you would practice. So here is the other example. It says in ancient Egypt, small distances were measured in Egyptian cubits. An Egyptian cubit was equal to 7 palms, and 1 palm is equal to 4 fingers. If 1 finger was equal to 18.75 mm, which is millimeters, convert 6 Egyptian cubits to meters. So this is our task, and they gave us quite a bit of conversion factors, right? So we're going to start with 6 cubits, right? And then cubits, if you reread that, a cubit was equal to 7 palms, it says. So here's my conversion factor. And again, hopefully you say that the cubits should go down here and palms should go down here, or sorry, up here, right? So 1 cubit is equal to 7 palms. And actually, you can add all of these conversion factors together, which is what we're going to do right now. So then later, right, these are going to cancel. So now we want palms right here, right? And it says 1 palm is equal to 4 fingers. So 1 palm is equal to 4 fingers, right? Palms cancel at this point. We're almost there, right? Fingers go down here. And it says that 1 finger is equal to 18.75 millimeters. So 1 finger, 18.75 millimeter. Fingers cancel, and we're not there yet because it wants us to go to meters, right? So now we're going to take our millimeters, go down here with meters at the top there, and it is 1,000 millimeter per 1 meter. Millimeters cancel, right? So let me see here. There we go. So everything that is on top, so this 6, 7, 4, 18.75, and 1, you're going to multiply. And then everything that is, see if I can change the color of my highlighter here, that is down here, which is, a bunch of ones and 1,000, you're going to divide, right? So you can take your calculator and do that. Hopefully at the end, your answer should be 3.150 meters. Right, and that's it. So usually, they give you the conversion factors, and then sometimes what they're going to expect you to do is to do it off the top of your head. Like, for example, the millimeters to meters, right? That one they might not give you like they did here on the example, because that should be something that you already know. And if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know how much that is, then you might want to go the manual way, which is using the ladder method, right? Because you can do millimeters to meters that way, and you can even do any of these between each other, right? Some people, they memorize it really quickly and they know it right away. Some people, even me, I forget, so I do the ladder method, right? But if it's, different things like, Egyptian cubits, or later on we're going to talk about atoms and mass and stuff like that, those will be given to you. You just need to make sure you know how to format it correctly, right? So this one takes a lot of practice. So watch it again if you need to, and then there will be practice problems for you to practice in just a little bit.